So the new Google Pixel 8a is about to launch, and we already have the full specs of it and the design of how it will look like. However, I won't personally be upgrading from my 6.8 to the 8a basically, because I think it's completely pointless and they are essentially the same phone. So maybe the design will be a bit different. As you can see, it will have more rounded corners here, and the display glass will be also obviously more rounded here, maybe a bit different camera bar than on the older one, but really that's just some design. If you put in a case, basically you won't really tell the difference anyway. So let's talk about the actual specs of these phones. So we already have all the details of it, and I'm comparing like 2 generation difference. So just for better illustration, if you compare to the 8a and 7.8, basically there's pretty much zero difference between them. So but there's a bit more difference between these two models. Still, I won't be upgrading because it's completely pointless and they are essentially the same phone. So the first, the Tensor G1 versus G3 processor. So on the 8.8 you will get the same processor that you get on the regular 8, but it will be slightly underclocked, so it won't be as powerful. However, from the like benchmark tests, the Tensor G1 and G3 is literally only like 25% only faster. So even though it's 2 generations newer, it's pretty much the same in the power. Then for the RAM, it will have 8 gigs of RAM as standard, and the 7.8 also had 8 gigs of RAM, so there's really not an increase, and this is a good size RAM, I think. However, I have 6 gigs of RAM on my 6.8, and to be honest, it's completely fine. Actually, it's more than fine. I haven't really had absolutely zero need anywhere for that extra 2 gigs of RAM, and I'm not really feeling it's super fast, this phone. And yeah, I don't really know why would you need extra RAM on this phone if you're maybe playing some 10 games at the same time. Then maybe, I don't know, but like for 99% of people, literally you won't feel a difference between the 6 gigs and 8 gig of RAM. Then for internal storage, on the 6.8 it had 128 gigs of internal storage. On the base 8a you also have 128 gigs of storage, but you will be able to pay around $50 more or $100 more, I'm not exactly sure, to get 256 gig of storage. And I think the storage, yeah, it's probably fine and you can upgrade it for not much more money. However, if you are actually using your cameras for the videos, I think the storage actually fills up pretty fast actually. And if you're shooting 4K video, you only get like 1 hour of footage before literally your phone is full. So yeah, I'm not impressed that it has 128 gigs as standard. Then yeah, it doesn't impress me. That's because that's very low, and they should have included the 256 gigs variant as a standard really. So if it included that for that same price, yeah, maybe I would think about it more, but 128 gigs, yeah, it's not going to cut it. Then the battery capacity, it's essentially the same, so that's like, I don't know, like 2 or 3% difference, so essentially the same really. And the battery life on these phones, as you probably know, on the Pixels isn't the best, and I'm not really expecting anything different on the 8a basically, seeing how just average the regular 8 with the same CPU was. So yeah, just keep your old one, it's fine basically. The only difference where this 8a will have over the 6a is that it will have a wireless charging. However, it's a very slow 7.5 watts of wireless charging. The regular 8 had 18 watts of wireless charging, so this is quite pathetic speed. Also on the 7.8, the previous generation, it also had this 7.5 watt charging. However, it does not impress me. That's super slow, like, I mean, it's completely useless really. So yeah, they should have really bumped it up to like 18 watts like on the regular 8. Then maybe some people would think about upgrading, but it's not really worth it. Then the screen refresh rate. So when the 6.8 basically launched, people were moaning and complaining that this phone has 60 Hz refresh rate on the screen. However, I don't really understand those people. They're just some Reddit nerds, I think, who just like look at specs on paper and don't really look at the reality. In reality, this phone is absolutely blazing fast. And when I'm actually comparing to a phone that has like a 120 hertz refresh rate, they're literally the same. Maybe this 120 hertz displays benefit on some slow phones where the specs aren't that good, so maybe you can see a noticeable difference. Where in everyday real life, like everyday real life usage for 99% people, you won't really feel that much of difference, if any at all, really, and you will have be hard pressed to find that difference. So yeah, don't look at this number. It's perfectly fine and it's a good display actually. So bumping it up to 90 or 120 hertz, I'm not sure which will be. I'm assuming 90, maybe, I don't know. It's the same on 7.8. I'm not really sure because there are different options here, so online, so I'm not really sure yet. But really don't look at this number because the screen on 6A is absolutely great, and the performance, yeah, it's a super fast phone. So really, yeah, I'm not really sure why would you upgrade to the 8A, because it's literally the same phone. Also, the cameras, when we talk about the cameras, on the 6A, it literally has amazing camera. So, and the 7.8 also has an amazing camera, and I reckon the 8A obviously also will have an amazing camera. However, these camera modules on the 7.8 and 8A will be identical. So the 8A and 7.8 camera from the last year is identical sensors basically, and you can expect to get identical performance basically in pictures. If you actually want a better camera, then this phone can have, I would suggest to look for the regular 8 one, because that has much better sensor and it has got really great video recording abilities. This 8A, 7.8 and all these budget Series A phones do struggle with video, especially in a lower light. So I wouldn't really suggest it if you are a content creator who wants to shoot video with these cameras to get the 8A. If you have the 6A, don't really upgrade to the 8A. Instead, if you actually want an upgrade to the regular 8 basically. So because that one has much better video recording quality than the 8A will really have. So yeah, overall, don't upgrade. It's the same phone in reality. Maybe some Reddit nerds will tell you that this is completely different phone and it has these different specs. However, when you actually go up close and inspect those specs and just how fast the CPU will be and just how it will function differently, they're the same phone really, just a bit different design. So don't upgrade and don't waste your money. Anyway, if this was helpful, make sure to hit the like button. See you!